before I let you go, every guest on the pod gets 3 questions from me.
Oh,
And
okay.
these 2 questions, the first 2 ones are very design driven, and the third one is a very petrolhead question. So,
Ooh. Yes.
question number 1: which project which you have not been part of would you have absolutely loved to contribute to? And this could be anything. This could not just be a car. This could be, I don't know, an iPhone or whatever you can think of. But it must be a creative process or project.
Anything.
Anything that you can think of. Could be a car as well. Like, I don't care.
Ah, maybe spacecraft.
Oh, like
We
like
were
in
involved
the
a little bit in the SpaceX development stuff. I wish I would have been involved a little more in that. I think we did some intern, some CMF for
Mhm.
SpaceX, but I think I would have loved to be a little bit more involved in that and also in the futuring of that. I think that could be very interesting.
Cool. Question number 2:
Yeah.
which designer, and we're talking about really designer, you have worked with or have not worked with, that doesn't really matter, has had the biggest influence on you personally?
Do I need to drop a name here?
Well, a name helps. A name would be great. You can also say there's a bunch of people, and if you don't want to drop a name, just explain why.
The biggest influence for myself. I'll have to answer that in a very different way.
Go ahead.
I had the opportunity to be one of the first girls, female, to be kind of sponsored at Audi when I was in Munich. And it was a very hard time because I was female, and I think I got laughed at a lot there. But I have learned a lot being in there. And I have learned it sounds weird, but getting my elbows out, that's weird
Hmm.
to say, but I have seen a lot how people work. It's a very male-driven environment, which is good and bad at the same time. But the process and the detail and the attention to quality when I was there was impressive. And learning more about vehicle design and cars, that was kind of for me the initial Kickstarter to see my personal path. And I think if it wouldn't have been for the chance of being there and doing all my internships and my final diploma work there, I don't think I would be where I am right now. So I think Audi itself at that point of time was for me the biggest creative influencer.
All right. And question number 3. I know you're gonna like this one because I know you like cars as well.
Oh dear.
If I give you a blank check, any money
Oh,
available,
oh, now we're
which car
talking.
would you buy?
Which cars or car?
You like look, okay, so one that comes to mind right away, but
Do we have
I
another
give you
hour?
3.
That's going to be
I give you 3.
difficult.
Well, I know this is always the toughest one. This is why I always say, take the one that comes from your gut feeling. Give me at least one. Give me a maximum of 3.
GT3 RS.
Okay, which one? Like 996, 997, 991. You have to be more specific on this one. Come on.
I think the 996. I think the 996, yeah. I like to drive fast and around racetracks. I'm as much as I love the electric vehicles, and I have a Model 3, and it's pretty cool on a racetrack. Driving a GT3, I haven't driven a GT4, I've driven a GT3 around a racetrack in Vegas, which is pretty awesome. Just that feeling and the sound and the movement of the car itself is insane. But again, if I had a blank check, it has to be this car. It has to be another off-roady car. I would have to get a Cobra as well, an original one. Like this is kind
Nice.
of, and I need a big garage then because there will be a couple more, maybe a Super 7 too. A Super 7 is pretty cool. But yeah, I think the first car probably GT3. Yeah.
I'll take that. Thank you very much.
It's hard. It's hard.
Thank you very, very much for spending over an hour with me.
Yes. Okay. I hope it wasn't too confusing.
No, it was great. It was great,
Okay.
and it's absolutely fantastic that you have been able to share the importance and why color and trim is so important to the entire process. And I'm pretty sure that this will enlighten a lot of our listeners. So obviously, Sue, thank you very much for everything.
Yes,
We will
thank
obviously
you.
link you in the podcast description as well, so that the people can find you on LinkedIn and that they can message you and they can contact you on your Nova Design website as well. So this will all be on the podcast description. And to all our listeners, thank you very much for spending another hour with me, Martin Groschwald, as well as with Sue Neuhauser. And you will hear back from us very soon with the next episode of the Gestalten podcast. Thank you, everybody.